my gosh, you guys, everyone's so hot in here. You guys are hot. I didn't expect that. So I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was a lonely, only child. I was told a lot that you gotta learn to play by yourself. And at family dinners, you could hear silverware clinking. And it was really lonely. You know the movie Home Alone? I don't know who doesn't know that movie, but the family, you know, the night before they go to Paris, there's siblings and cousins running all around, and they're screaming, and they're pranking, and they're playing, and they're having a pee in the bed, whatever. I wanted that. That was my dream. It was so quiet at my house. I went to college, went to film school, and I met a guy from Southeast Louisiana, you know. Thank you, yes, okay. Libtard meets swamp boy, very romantic. And one of the things I was so drawn to about him was his huge family. He was one of 6 kids, and he had a billion cousins, and he would tell me story after story of their small town shenanigans, and I was smitten. And, you know, there came time when I was gonna go down to Louisiana to meet this family. We'll call them the Boudreaux for the sake of this story. And I was gonna meet his parents, Joby Boudreaux and Ann Boudreaux. And he tells me, you know, when you get down there, you gotta address my parents by their first name, and you put Mr. and Miss in front of it. So Mr. Joby and Miss Ann. That's just how you do it. It's a sign of respect. And I'm going down for Mardi Gras. And I know what you're thinking, okay? Look, but Mardi Gras is actually much more of a family affair than people think. And so he says, my brothers, they're gonna wanna party with you. They're gonna wanna party hard. But my parents are gonna wanna get to know you a little bit. So just try to find a balance. Yeah, duh, no problem, right? Great. So we fly down, and we're heading to his aunt's house. And down in Louisiana, you call your youngest aunt your titante. So we're heading to titante's house. She lives right on the parade route, which is a big deal. And Miss Ann greets us with her measured sweetness. Oh, sugar, how was your flight? Oh, you must be tired. I hope you're excited about the parade. This is one of our favorites. And Mr. Joby pops in. Oh, look at you, wearing your purple and your gold. You're all set, all ready for the parade. Go on now. You need a drink? She needs a drink. Titante, you're gonna let this girl starve? You're gonna let this girl go thirsty? Titante is offended. Oh, Joby, not in my house. And I find out that Titante is a big fan of her clear liquids, AKA vodka. And so she's quick to serve me up a big, huge red Solo cup of clear liquids with a dash of diet cherry limeade. Here you go, darling, a Titante special. And look, I did not want to show them vodka Valerie on this trip. I really didn't, okay? And I want to be clear, I was no prude, okay? It wasn't my first rodeo. I was at the club hitting the sauce pretty hard on the regular, so, you know, I was cool in my 20s. But I didn't want to be rude, so I sip, right? I sip. I sip, sip, sip. I'm meeting brothers and cousins and baby sister, and I sip, sip, sipperoo. And then I'm meeting, you know, childhood friends and uncles, and I'm sipping. And as I'm draining the last drop from this red Solo cup, I'm looking at the bottom, and I think to myself, oh, I really should have eaten something. And the next thing I remember, it's the morning. And the sun is shining. It's actually blaring at me. And my boyfriend is sitting on the bed next to me with a big glass of water, and there's a big pile of Mardi Gras beads on the floor next to me. And he says, okay, good morning. So last night did not go exactly as you and I hoped. Do you remember anything? And I'm scanning my brain, and I do not. And so he said, okay, sounds like you blacked out. Look, don't cry, don't panic, it's gonna be okay. This is what happened. You were dancing to the music. I'm a great dancer, okay? So I'm dancing to the music, and I got kind of tired. I went inside, I saw the couch, and he says, you laid down and passed out for the entirety of the rest of the evening. And I started to crawl under the bed, and he physically pulled me out from under there, and he dragged me into the bathroom, and he's like, look, it's all right. Just get your game face on, get cleaned up. My dad cooked us breakfast. We gotta go down now, so just face the music, okay? So I'm waiting for the water to warm up, and I look at him and I ask him, "That's really all that happened?" And he looks at me and he says, "Isn't that enough?" So Mr. Joby made us crawfish omelets, and I come downstairs and say, "Oh, there she is. You hungry? Go on, get your plate. Sit on down. The food's hot." And his parents are staring at me, and his mom says, "You tired? I bet you're hungry, aren't you? You know, I bet you need a Bloody Mary. Joby, I think she needs a Bloody Mary, don't you think?" So we eat, and by the end of the meal, I get up enough courage to say, "Look, about last night, I'm so sorry. If I was, Mr. Joby doesn't even let me finish. No, that's in the past. We got a lot more Mardi Gras to do." And Miss Ann agrees. She says, "Oh, sugar, look, we should really be saying to Teton, shame on you with your clear liquids, Teton." And they laugh. And I laugh. And we're laughing. And I don't know that we're laughing at the same thing. And we're back at Teton's for the next parade, and I see his brother, and he looks at me and he says, "Oh, you're wearing a belt today. That's nice." And I say, "Yours is nice too." That's a very specific compliment. And we laugh. And the weekend marches on, right? Beads, parades, food, family. I get my mojo back a little bit, you guys. It's okay, right? We're okay. And the last day, I'm sitting in his family's house, and I look around, and I'm just taking it in. He's got his nephews running up and down the stairs. His brothers are gathered around the dining room table, and they're playing some game where they slap each other. And and Teton and his mom are sitting on the couch, and they're laughing so hard they're crying. And in the kitchen, there's sisters-in-law huddled up together, and front door and back door swinging open and closed, and it's just nice. And it'd be nice to be a part of something like that. So we're back in San Francisco, and I'm unpacking, sitting on the floor, marveling at my Mardi Gras beads, and my boyfriend comes into the room, and he kneels down next to me, and he says, "Now that we're back, I should probably tell you what really happened that night." Oh no. So this is what really happened, you guys. After the Red Solo Cup, I continued to drink, and I'm outside near the parades. My future father-in-law, Mr. Joby, comes out, and he's hanging with me. We're chatting, and he offers me gloves, and it's cold outside, and he's such a gentleman. And I do not say, "Thank you so much, Mr. Joby." But what I do say is, "Oh, thanks, sweetie. Thank you." And I repeat it, "Thanks, sweetie." And I'm running out into the street in front of parades, dancing and taunting them with my moves, which is dangerous, and you're not supposed to do that. And so my boyfriend has to hold me by my sweatshirt, just, to keep me in place for my own safety. And I go inside to use the bathroom, and my boyfriend comes in a little bit later to find me, and he sees his young twin cousins, 2 young girls. They're looking at me, and they're whispering to each other because I found a place to rest. And it's on the ground in the bathroom with my head on the toilet. And they look at me and they say, "You know what? She's safe and sound here. This is designated as Valerie's spot for the evening." And so I stay there. And the pièce de résistance is at the end of the night, it's time to go home. And Mr. Joby says to my boyfriend, "Why don't you go on and pull the car around? And Ann, why don't you go ahead and wake Valerie up so we can all go home?" And Miss Ann is so sweet. She's gently whispering to me. She's nudging me, shaking me a little bit, poking. Nothing's working. And she says, "Joby, I can't wake her up." And Joby says, "Ann, come on. You just got to go in there. We got to pick her up like this." And he picks me up underneath my arms and brings me to my feet. And my pants fall all the way down to my ankles. And Miss Ann screams. And Mr. Joby says, "Ann, get her pants! Get her pants, Ann!" And sweet Southern Belle Miss Ann crouches down on her bad ankle, and she's shimmying my pants up as fast as she can. And now she's eye level with my slutty red lace underwear. And the bathroom door is open for the whole family to see, and they are watching. They are watching. And Miss Ann does get my pants up over my whore underwear. And she buttons them up. And as my boyfriend pulls the car up the driveway, the lights are shining on us like spotlights as Mr. Joby carries me out like Mary holding dead Jesus to the car. I did end up calling and trying to apologize, but it was, come on, let's be honest, that's worthless. I want to be an example to you all. You really can come back from almost anything. Because, look, my boyfriend became my husband, and we ended up divorcing, I know, and it was years later and unrelated, I promise. But I actually still got to have my Home Alone family for some reason, and I do not understand it. They decided to keep me to this day. So yeah, I feel lucky. Woo! And I just want to say that you don't have to worry, I'm drinking water tonight. Woo!
Valerie, Lynn, Brett, everybody.